So what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Movement 6, and before we start, I want to say a huge thank you, of course, to everybody who subbed in the last week, in the last few days. Very humbled to have you guys on the channel. If you're new here, drop that like, drop that subscribe, and put on the notifications button, help a brother out here. um, the topic of today is actually quite different than what I'm usually doing, and it's also something I'm usually not very comfortable with doing. The reason is, not so long ago, I got a reaction on one of my videos on the channel, and he said, like your channel, the reason why I like it is because you do not produce clickbait or just be yourself. You only produce what you like. You don't jump on hype trains. And that's what I want to stay away from as much as possible. I just want to create what I like and generally suck in making advertisements for my channel, and it just grows organically, and I'm really humbled with every sub that I have. But today's topic is something that I really wanted to cover, because it's actually starting to be a huge problem in society in general. 8 Thoughts got canceled, and for those who don't know, maybe you've been living under a rock, I don't know. 8 Thoughts is a guy that, and he's entertaining and he's funny as hell. That's what I think. I like his channel. He inspired me to make my own stuff. He's one of those channels that I watched a lot, and I thought I can do something, also produce content that I like. I'm not pretending to be 8 Thoughts. I will never will be. He's unique. He provokes. He likes to provoke. He's sometimes looking where the edges and the boundaries are, and that's all in the game. That's considered free speech and free society, and if you don't like his channel, just walk away and then don't like his channel. It's a free world. The reason why he got canceled now is he made a few video clips by he targeted Nick Merckx, or what this guy's called, about his thumbnails, and I thought it was pretty funny, but he got canceled by that. And the reason he got canceled is not because of his thumbnails or his videos. The reason he got canceled is because there is an increasingly amount of people out there who are easily offended and lack a spinal cord in general. Hear me out here. I've been born in 1979. I've been raised in the 80s and up until the mid 90s. We didn't have internet, PCs. We didn't have phones. But what we did got is that most of us been raised with a spinal cord. People always say grow a pair, and being offended is a choice. If you're offended by something, by a grown-ass man making a video clip about your JPEG files, which you call your thumbnails, then you also have a choice not to be offended. You have that choice, and nowadays we have some kind of a process where people are offended and then somebody else need to do something. I'm offended by X, and that X needs to do something. It needs to cancel himself, or we will cancel it. And that's not how a society works. If you have the desire to live in a society that you want to call free and open, and you do not want to be offended, then you're just an idiot. You're just an idiot. And I gladly want to point you in the direction of Steve Huge, who was a stand-up comedian, and there's one clip that's called "I Was Offended." It's funny as hell. I will give a summary right now, but in essence, what he advocates in a very funny way. I'm not as nearly as funny as this guy, but being offended is a choice. 1, sticks and stones. 2, what happened to that? And being offended's got everything to do with you as an individual. What offends you doesn't offend me, and it's got everything to do with your social structure, your friends, your environment, the way you've been raised or the lack of being raised, your education or the lack thereof, and your religious belief. In essence, who you are, and everybody constantly jumps on the I am offended train. But you could also choose not to do it and then be the bigger man and walk away and turn around, because everything you feed grows. So what have you gained from this? Nothing. You've gained nothing. You canceled a 300 to 400k sub channel. The only thing you gained is that you opened a box of Pandora a bit wider, which means that your channel could also be a target of being cancelled. So if we would just all stop being offended, nobody is cancelled, and we live in a true free society. We need more speech, not less, okay? And I can easily be offended 4 or 5 times an hour if I want to, but I choose not to. Why? Because I've been raised with the idea that a better environment starts with yourself, for yourself. In other words, if I see something that offends me or could offend me, I just, okay, well, turn around and walk away. Practice yoga, practice mindfulness, practice meditation like I do. It calms you down. The world isn't fair. The world isn't honest. Live with it. Grow up. Be mature. We have a grown ass man, the real MLG Call of Duty player in the world, making fun of you and your thumbnails. So what? So what? And now his channel got canceled, and maybe you have a very short period of time where you're actually enthusiastic about yourself. Well, good for you, but the only thing you did is you widened the bigger issue, is that there is a considerable growing amount of weak people in society that actually think that jumping on I am offended and this needs to be cancelled is going to solve anything, because there wasn't a problem. You are the problem for yourself. And now you canceled a channel, a very successful channel. And what happens now is that your channel is now also a little less safe. Because who is going to protect you from these? If you already get canceled about a Nick Merckx video about thumbnails, then I would really be sharp and on edge not to be canceled myself, because if it's that easy, your channel is also not in safety, my friend. It's not. And I think that it would be better. It really would be better if everybody would just calm the freak down, count to 10 first, and then assess if this is actually a real problem, why you as a supposedly grown man should be offended about. Being offended. Jesus Christ, grow up. You canceled a 300 to 400k subs, and you see it everywhere in society. Oh, I'm offended, and now I have rights. No, you don't. This is a free and open society, and if you have the desire to live in a free and open society, you will encounter things that could offend you every single minute of the day. And the only thing is proven that you have an incapability of dealing with life. Not with a channel, not with a thoughts, not with no one, with life. Life throws shit at you. It's unfair. It's everything. And you can't stand it, and now you got a channel canceled. Well, kudos for you. Really, kudos. What have you solved? Nothing. What have you worsened? Everything. So, it's a difficult topic. I want to stay far away as possible from woke shit, and now all of a sudden this pops up. A Thoughts it's a funny guy. It's entertainment purposes. He's the best bold MLG Call of Duty guy. Now he's gone, So why, mate? Just grow up, grow a spinal cord, try to rent one. And I think you should stop targeting channels or try to stop canceling things you're offended about, because you need help. You need to not mobilize everyone around you to cancel something. You need to mobilize everything to ask people if there's a psychiatrist or somebody who could help you dealing with life in general, right? So these are just my 2 cents about 8 thoughts and his cancellation. And if you have the desire to react on this, keep it clean. I'm not here to offend you, but if you think that if you want to open up on this topic, I think the topic is about people being too easily offended and having more trouble with coping with life than coping with some grown ass guy making a video about thumbnails. Just grow up. So if you want to react, please keep it clean, guys. I'll be back shortly. So I hope to see you on Online Battlefield, and Movement 6 out.